Welcome to Cooking in Quarantine. I'm Chef Corey. Well, I guess we're all under quarantine right now with the COVID virus going around, so I've decided to do some cooking shows for everyone, and today is my first one, and I'm going to make a few things for you today. So the first thing I'm going to make is I'm going to make a stuffed turkey breast, and then I'm going to make some mashed potatoes to go along with it. So I'm going to start off with an onion, and I'm just going to chop it up a little bit. Okay, so I chopped up my onion first. I also found in my fridge I have some celery. And so what I like to do is I like to soak my vegetables in some water for about half an hour just to get all the, any dirt or grime off of them, and it should sink to the bottom of the bowl. I also got some zucchini. I got some asparagus. I got some carrots. So I'm going to have a little bit of everything in my stuffing. So I already chopped up my onion. Gonna push that off to the side, or even put it in a separate container, because that'll be the first thing I'm gonna fry up is my onions. So let's keep those separate. Then I'm gonna cut up my celery. And I like to cut up my celery small, like similar to the onion. Okay, so I got my celery. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of asparagus, because we love asparagus in our house. Maybe a little carrot. Now you can shred the carrot, or I'm gonna chop it up just like little pieces. Because remember, I'm gonna saute off all these vegetables, so they're gonna get a little bit soft. Plus, they're gonna cook inside the turkey breast. And I'm gonna add a little zucchini. I'll show you a little trick here. Cut them into discs. And okay, so we have our zucchini, our carrots, our celery, our asparagus, and now we're going to saute this off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute off my vegetables. So take a little bit of oil, about maybe a tablespoon, and got the burner on high. Want to get my pan hot. Now I'll add my onions. We're going to cook the onions first for a little bit. Okay, so basically my onions have been sauteing now for about a minute or so. I'm going to add the rest of my vegetables to this as well, because we're going to continue to saute this. I want to saute my vegetables for probably about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning. So I have some sea salt. I like working with sea salt. I recommend, if you're not using sea salt in your house, that you do it. Really good salt to work with. Better than table salt. I'm adding some pepper, and I only like using fresh pepper in this house. Like I said, we're going to saute this for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so now our vegetables have been sauteing for about 4 minutes, so I'm going to make my stuffing right now. So essentially what I did was I just got some old bread, like I have some ends of bread that we have. I even have like some challah that I made that's going a little bit stale. So I'm just gonna like basically rip these into small pieces, kind of not really crumple it up, but rip them into small pieces and add it to the mix. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add I need a little bit of liquid in here. So I have some chicken stock. I just basically took out of my cupboard some bouillon and a little bit of water, mix it together. I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time, a little bit more. You want it so that the bread is fairly pliable, that you can work with it. You don't want it to be too wet. I mean, some people like their stuffing drier, some people like it wetter, but I mean, I could add a little bit of paprika to it, or fresh thyme, which I have in my fridge as well. You can add a little seasoning of oregano if you want, or whatever you want. Okay, so what I've done now is I cooled down my stuffing. So I put it in a bowl in the fridge, half an hour. It's cooled down because you want to be able to work with it. I have my turkey breasts. And before I forget, actually, I wanted to let everyone know, make sure you preheat your oven to 375, okay? And I have mine on convection bake. I have it on convection bake, okay? So, take my turkey breast, and what I'm gonna do is I gotta stuff it. So, I'm gonna cut a pocket, basically. So I'm gonna take my knife. I wanna make sure that I don't go in too far. I don't wanna make a hole. So I'm gonna go in slowly. I'm gonna cut a slit here. And this way, you can see I have a nice pocket inside to put my stuffing inside, okay? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my stuffing. Okay, now some people put eggs in their stuffing. I didn't put any eggs in my stuffing at all. Okay, so I used up all my stuffing. And like I said, this is a 3-pound turkey breast I'm using. Some are a bit smaller, some are a bit bigger. Okay, it's good to go. Okay, now I'm gonna season up my turkey. So 3 things I'm gonna use on this turkey. I'm gonna use some sea salt. I'm gonna give it a nice generous amount of sea salt because remember, you're only seasoning the outside of the turkey here. Flip it over and do the other side. Again, nice generous amount of sea salt. And then I'm gonna add my pepper. And like I said earlier, I like using fresh pepper. Flip it over. Don't want our stuffing all to come out. Do the other side. Fresh pepper. And I like on my turkey, I usually like to use some fresh herbs. I happen to have some fresh thyme. And now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna stick this in my pan and tuck it down a little bit. And again, I'll put some fresh thyme on the top of it. Finally, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna brush it with a little bit of oil. This is just canola oil. You can use vegetable oil. You could use olive oil if you wanted to, but I like using canola or vegetable oil. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the oven. We're looking at about 20 to 22 minutes a pound. So this is a 3-pound turkey, so it's gonna be a little over an hour probably for this turkey, but I'll check it with my thermometer. You want it to be about 165 degrees in the middle when it's done. We're gonna take it to the oven. And we'll see in a little bit, turkey. Okay, so the turkey's been cooking just about a little over an hour now. It's pretty much ready. It's about 160 degrees in the middle, between 160 and 163. I'm gonna just let it rest on the counter for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. And actually I'm gonna cover it with a little bit of foil before I carve it. And you can see we have, I'll just show you one more time, we got beautiful turkey breast with stuffing inside. Okay, so to go along with our turkey and stuffing, we are going to be making some mashed potatoes. So I have a couple potatoes here, Yukon Gold. Okay, so I peeled my potatoes, I gave them a good rinse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut them so that they're all kind of the same size. So you notice I have 1 small potato, 1 big potato. So I'm still going to cut this one in half as well. Okay, this way, if you cut them all in the same size, they're all going to cook the same amount of time. So I got a pot of water on here. Throw my potatoes in. I'm gonna let them boil for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt, just a little pinch of salt in there. A couple grinds of pepper. And we're gonna boil them, like I said, about 25 minutes, and then we'll mash them up. Okay, so mashed potatoes have boiled now. I strained them off. I have my pot, it's empty. I'm gonna add a little bit of butter, about a teaspoon of butter. I'm gonna turn it on to like about a medium heat, just to melt the butter down. And I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of light cream. You can use milk, you can use heavy cream. This is a light cream. And I'm just gonna warm that up a little bit. Okay, so my butter's melted, my cream's warmed up now. I'm gonna take the potatoes, are still pretty hot actually. I'm gonna add them into the pot. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt. And then I don't have a potato masher, and I know a lot of people don't have potato masher, so I have a whisk. And so I'm gonna show you how to do this with a whisk. First what I'm doing is I'm mashing it down with the whisk. Okay, break up the chunks of potatoes. And then what I'm gonna do is with my whisk, I'm gonna start to whisk the potatoes in the pot. Oh, perfect. They don't need any more salt at all. They're delicious, look. They're gonna be great with the turkey. So I hope everyone enjoyed. It's my first show, and please subscribe to my channel. If you want the recipes for today, you can check out the link below. There will be a link to show you where the recipes are. Thank you for joining me on Cooking in Quarantine with Chef Corey, and I hope to see you all soon.